Welcome back to Tactical Rifleman. This video is brought to you in part by the Sportsman's Guide and our patrons over at Patreon/Tactical Rifleman. Could not do these videos without the support of all of those companies and all of you guys, the viewers. Hey, so what we're going to do today is we are going to talk about the old M855. This has been the standard for decades for the military, what we call green tip. It's got a small steel penetrator in the nose for barrier penetration. Not necessarily armor-piercing ammo, but it does have this steel core for barrier penetration. Car doors, things like that. And then we're going to put against it the new and improved M855A1. Still 62 grains, but the steel core actually, it's on the outside exposed and then comes down inside the projectile. And it's lead-free, so the rest of it's just copper brass mix. Right? Both 62 grain, both look identical on the outside. What we're going to do is we're going to run them through ballistic gelatin blocks from Clear Ballistics. Right? So this is not true FBI grade ballistic gelatin that's organic, right? But these are made by Clear Ballistics. They've got the exact same resistance. Now, this is not to represent what it would do inside of a human body. We've had viewers say, hey, Carl, why don't you put pork ribs there and watermelons and grapes and all this to represent the different organs in the body? Now, I mean, unless you guys are gonna volunteer to come stand and be my targets to shoot at, we have to use a medium such as ballistic gelatin to give us consistent data that's the same every time. That's what this is for. It's to show you consistent data so that we can compare one round against the next. You didn't come here to watch me jibber jabber. Let's shoot these and we'll talk about the results. So we shot both our blocks right here. We'll cover this one first. This is your standard military green tip. Militaries ran it for decades. All the rednecks are stockpiling it and putting it under their beds, and for good reason. It's good ammo. Performed exactly the way it's supposed to perform. It enters, and about this depth is where you want to find it. That's where you see that secondary cavitation in the block. The largest expansion of that secondary cavity is right here in this area. It yawed a little bit, tumbled. You actually saw it lost a little bit of the lead core out the back, but out the back of the block, we lost the rest of the full jacket with the steel core. Actually exited the block. If we'd had another block, might have caught it there. It's lost a lot of the energy, but it still has enough energy to completely go through this and get to this depth no matter what we put in front of it. We could put a car door here. It'll still give you that same effect inside the block. Green tip has always been good ammo. It's very, very accurate out past 300 meters. It's good stuff. That's why the military went to it. However, military always hunting for a better round. They came out and are currently using the M855A1. Solid metal core, no lead in it, and it has a steel penetrator. Steel penetrator is exposed. You can actually turn it on some of the bullets. It's kind of neat, but it actually goes down inside of the projectile, the outer brass skin there. And I mean, when I first heard about it, it's a lot more expensive to make this M855A1. It's still 62 grain. I'm like, it's not going to shoot as well. It's making it more expensive, blah, blah, blah. There were a lot of haters out there. Anytime you say it's a green ammo, all the haters come out. I'm here to tell you, it's great ammo. The solid copper projectiles like the Barnes Tac X bullets, they're great ammo. And you see how this one performed inside the block. You still had over penetration of the block. The steel core still exited the block. It went out the back of the block, went down range. But inside, you still got all the same secondary cavitation that you got with the 855. But if you look the way the brass jackets, the copper around that steel penetrator, it all separated into shards. Now that's all making separate wound canals, but it's also allowing it to deliver all that energy right here on target. Steel penetrates car doors, windshields, thin walls, all the things that we need from a military cartridge to be used in a combat zone. But this is a very, very lethal bullet. And I'm here to tell you, I'm glad the military switched to the M855A1. The only drawback I've heard about it at all is because it is steel, it scratches the feed ramps on the M4s. Because it's a milder steel, those feed ramps are. And that, again, that comes down to the magazines that you're using. I heard that Magpul changed the ramps on the Gen 3 mags, and it completely alleviated that issue. So for the military, I'm here to tell you, you've seen it here. Again, this ballistic gel does not represent what the exact wounds would look like in the human body. You hit a rib, hit a hollow organ versus a solid organ, you're gonna get different wound cavities. You may notice that this block is slightly darker than that one. That's because this is actually, both blocks are from Clear Ballistics, but this block has actually been reused. The cool part about us using Clear Ballistic gelatin blocks for our tests here at Tactical Rifleman is we've also purchased the molds, and we can melt down these blocks and reuse them. Sometimes the residue, this one had been shot with shotgun bird shot, and that's why it left a little bit of color in it when we cleaned all the shot out. But as far as it performing and you being able to see through it, they are identical, slightly different color, but these are identical blocks. All right, so anyways, that's all we got for this week on Tactical Rifleman. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again to our patrons on Patreon, and we'll see y'all next time. Y'all take care. Shoot straight. You okay? Shithole. 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 If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter so you don't miss out on anything. If you like the shirt that we're wearing in the video, you can get it in our store.